Hey, Trev, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com. How do you feel? Are there any lingering effects? How's your respiratory system? And how difficult was it just to be on the sideline watching on Saturday night?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling, normal, back to my old self. Feel good. No more symptoms, really. I mean, still taste and smell are a little bit weird, but I feel great, feeling normal. But yeah, it was definitely tough being on the sideline and not being able to play. But I'd rather be there than be at home watching and just, any support I could offer, any, extra set of eyes, whatever it was, some help for DJ, whatever it may be. I was just glad I was, there to be a part of it and just be with the team. Obviously, it didn't go our way, but wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere else.
Hey, Trevor, it's David. I guess what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did you find out from the test, or did you start to have symptoms first?
Yeah, so I guess really after I found out that I was positive, I thought back and I was having some mild symptoms earlier in the week around Monday, but I really just thought it was a cold. I got bad allergies as it is and was just stuffed up and had a little bit of a headache. So I didn't really think anything of it. Still practiced. It wasn't even really bad enough for me to go see the trainers as far as how I felt. Didn't really feel that bad. And then Wednesday night before my test came back Thursday morning, I started feeling worse. And then Thursday morning when they called me and told me that I was positive, I felt really bad on, Thursday and Friday as far as just like flu-like symptoms. But then after Friday, I felt good, started feeling better every day and was back to normal pretty quick. But it was probably about 2 days of feeling pretty bad, but that was it.
Trevor, it's Pete at AP. Were you scared at all? Were your parents worried about it? I mean, a lot of us haven't gone through it.
I think there's a little bit of concern just because, the virus is, it's a small chance, but it could have some lingering effects and could be bad. So, there's a little bit of that, but for the most part, I felt good. I just did what our trainers here told me to do, took some medicine, some vitamins, all that stuff to try to get back to normal as quick as possible. And it worked. And, thankfully I'm still healthy and feeling good. But, I think there's a little bit of concern just because of the nature of the virus, but I'm feeling good. So I'm thankful for that.
Trevor, this is Grace Rayner from The Athletic. What kind of physical activity, if any, have you done? I guess kind of what's next with the reacclimatization stuff?
Yeah, I when I was still in isolation, I did a little bit of stuff on my own just to try to stay, just whatever I could, obviously. As I felt better towards the end of my quarantine, I started doing some stuff just on my own, and then not too much though. But then when I came back, I was here Thursday. It was my first day back, and threw a little bit at practice. Didn't run around too much, and then obviously we were gone this weekend. And yesterday, Sunday, I came in and worked out and ran, did some agility stuff, and just trying to get back to normal. And felt pretty good. Obviously, a little out of shape just from sitting around for over a week, but other than that, nothing crazy. I feel normal, so it's good.
Trevor, what kind of things could you do on your own? Like, what did that look like?
Just like at my house, I have a little net, so I threw a couple of times in the net, just as much as I could, and then just moving around some drills or some movement stuff, but then just like some body weight workout things. But that's pretty much it. Didn't do too much. Just didn't want to push it too hard until I got back, but I did just a little bit.
Trevor, Brad from Clemson SI. If I know you get a whole extra bye week to get ready, but if you had to play on Saturday, could you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I felt good, honestly, this past weekend. But yeah, I'll be ready. Hopefully, still got to talk to the trainers and stuff and figure everything out. But hopefully, I'm back in practice, just like normal this week. So we'll see.
Trevor, Larry Williams of Tiger Illustrated here. I guess on the outside, there was maybe lots of, maybe lack of understanding or clarity about the post-isolation process of phasing you back in and the cardiac part of that. I guess people are saying, well, wait a minute, if he, a screening takes 10 minutes, how come he can't come back and play? Can you maybe just help enlighten on what that process was like for you and what the reasons were for sort of that phased in process being longer maybe than people on the outside maybe thought it should be.
Yeah, so I had my positive test on Wednesday. So your quarantine either starts 10 days from your positive test or the onset of symptoms. So like I was saying, I had some mild symptoms on Monday. So that's when my 10 days started after I found out that I was positive. So came back to the facility Thursday, and the protocol, the cardiac stuff and checking out your heart with the scans and all that, that takes a few days. So there just wasn't any way that I could get all that stuff done Thursday before we left on Friday, around noon to go to the game. So it just wasn't, we were trying to figure it out, but there was just no way to do it to, make sure I'm good too. So obviously we wanted to do those scans. That's part of the protocol is you got to go through all the scans, but also conditioning, make sure your heart's good and get back in shape. So you have to do all those things. It just would have been impossible to do it before we played Saturday. So that was all it was. Obviously people don't really understand, see me on the sidelines. They think I still have, COVID. It's like, obviously I don't still have it or I wouldn't have been there and risk, the team's health. So didn't have it on this weekend when I was there with the team. So that was just to clear that up. But yeah, that was all it was.
Trevor, this is Matt with the State. What was your reaction when you learned that you wouldn't be able to play at Notre Dame, and how quickly did you know that was probably off the table?
I probably knew last Saturday we played Boston College. Talked to Coach Sweeney and Danny Poole, our trainer, and just kind of talking about it. I was asking them, like, what can we do? Like, is there anything I can do to help on my end or whatever? And they said, Danny said there's really no way that we can be in a position where I can play. So Coach Sweeney, we talked about it, and he said after the game he was probably going to say something just to go ahead and, get that out of the way, let everyone know that I wasn't going to be able to play. So I knew Saturday of the BC game that I wasn't going to go.
What was it like being up there and taking it in and the environment and everything, and then also not being able to play? I'm sure it was hard.
Yeah, I mean, it just, obviously, I hate that I wasn't able to play. It's such a cool experience and really a once in a lifetime experience to get to play up there. But like I said, I was grateful I got to go and at least, be there for it. Super cool place. Obviously a lot of history, and it's just a cool thing to be a part of, but definitely wish I could have actually played. It would have, meant a lot to me, but like I said, can't do anything about it, but I was just glad I was there to support my team.
Hey, Trevor, it's Josh from the Post-Courier. Just to follow up on your sense of taste and smell, you said, are those starting to come back a little bit or just not really at all right now? Yeah,
they're starting to come back a little bit. It's still kind of weird. I can taste better, but still smell is a little bit off. Something's really strong. I can smell it, but yeah, it's a weird thing.
Hey, Travis, Trevor again. You mentioned being able to coach up DJ a little bit, especially on Saturday from the sideline. Just what were some of the things that you were able to impart from him, just from your experience, and how proud are you and pleased with the way he's played in each of the last two games?
Man, I'm super proud and happy for him. I think it's just testament to how hard he's worked. He's prepared really well every week, like he's the starter. So then when he was the starter, he was ready. And that's something that I think a lot of guys can take from him, is just being ready. But yeah, I'm super proud of him. He's played really well the past 2 weeks. Obviously, a couple of days ago didn't go our way, like I said, but I was proud of how he handled it. He's kept his poise, was composed, and really put us in a position to win. And it's just, like I said, it didn't go our way, but I think he played really well. And I think just being there, a couple things I felt like I could maybe help with is just situational understanding football. I think that's something that you gain through playing a lot and just through experience that I've gotten to get, as my career has gone on here. So just knowing the situation of the game, I think is huge. And obviously he has all the ability in the world. I'm not going to really necessarily help with that, but I think just mentally situational football was something I could help with a little bit. And then just having an extra set of eyes. Obviously I know what it's like to be out there, and I kind of see what he's seeing. So just us communicating with Coach Streeter and Coach Elliott and Coach Sweeney, all the coaches, I think that helped a little bit too.
Hey, Trevor, it's Chase Goodbread with NFL.com. I've got a non-COVID question for you about how you handle all the popularity. When you're out and about and you'd rather not, can you just go with a sunglasses and a hood, or do you have to get more creative than that?
Yeah, I don't really, honestly, I don't really go out too much, but sometimes, yeah, a hoodie is usually my go-to, but then everyone's wondering who the super tall guy is with the hoodie on. So it's hard to avoid attention when you're 6'6". So, but no, I mean, it's just one of those things where when I go out, I'm just prepared to, I have to talk to people, and it's just part of it. So I've gotten kind of used to it, but obviously I pick my spots. If I'm not in the mood to really get bombarded, I just will stay at home, grab some food to go, whatever it is. But yeah.
Is it an issue in Cartersville too, or just around Clemson?
I mean, it's just, I guess I just know more people in Cartersville, so it's a little bit different. Usually the people I see, I know. So a little different, but I still probably talk to the same amount of people.
Thanks.
Trevor, Pete at AP again. How much do you do this week to kind of keep everybody's spirits up after a loss? It's not something you guys are accustomed to very much, especially during the regular season. And how important is that going forward with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously as a leader, just making sure we're all kind of resetting after that game. I mean, not only obviously, like you said, we lost, but two, just such a hard fought game. A lot of guys banged up and kind of laid it all on the line that game. And so just making sure everybody's coming back ready to work. I don't think that's going to be an issue. It's never been an issue here. I mean, even when we win, we're ready to get back to work and attack the next week. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. But I guess just, ensuring that everyone's ready to go. And I think they will be. But, this is a good time for a bye week so that we can reset, get some guys healthy, and just, get ready to make this championship run that we're ready to go for. So for me, it's just I'm just happy to be back, really. It's not fun sitting at home for a week or two and just having to watch 2 games. It's definitely not ideal. So I'm glad to be back. I'm going to be excited just to be practicing again this week, and I think we'll have a really good week of prep and get ready for Florida State.
Hey, Trevor, it's David with ESPN. I'm curious. I'm sure you have a helpless feeling on a sideline in a game like that, but do you feel like things might have played out any differently if you had been on the field? Do you think that the outcome of the game might have been different?
Who knows? I think it's obviously football is such an interesting game. You just look back. I mean, DJ made a ton of plays that were great. So, I mean, there's just things that, who knows how it would have gone if I was playing. Obviously, I would have loved to have been in there and try to do everything I can to win the game. But at the same time, DJ played really well, and I was proud of him. And obviously, that's not an easy situation as a freshman. And he was prepared and did everything he could. So, I don't know. To answer your question, I really don't know. But, obviously, it was something I would have loved to have been able to play for sure.
One other quick question, and you may not know the answer to this either, but do you have any idea where you might have contracted the virus? I'm sure you have been going out of your way to try to be careful, as I'm sure everybody has, but not always the easiest thing to do. Were you able to kind of piece together any answers on that?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, since all this has been going on, especially during the season, I haven't really been in big groups to try to avoid that. But the way this thing is, you can track it back to I don't know how many people, and you think, well, I could have got it here, could have got it here. So I really, honestly, don't know. I try to keep my circle tight, but with this thing, it's hard. You don't know when people have it, or they don't know if they have it, and all these things. So I don't know.
Hey, Trevor, and what did you do with all that time in isolation?
First just use it to rest. I was pretty drained. You don't realize how tired you get from the season, just preparing every week, and there's not an off day. I mean, Sundays are one day that we don't really have anything, but still you're in here getting treatment, and I get a little workout in on Sunday, and then watching film and doing any homework you have before the week gets started, and then after Sunday it's every day you're practicing, working out, got class, all those things. So you don't really have much downtime, and I used the first few days just to really rest, sleep in, give my body a break. And then after that, obviously I tried to stay up on the game plan for Notre Dame, watch a little bit of film, just so I can contribute in any way. But really just, I would say the main thing is rest, and then mentally just kind of reset and just get ready for when I come back and be in a good mental space to lead the team and also play well down the stretch.
Trevor, what was it like mentally, just as a follow-up to that?
It was hard. I mean, the good thing was I, tried to look at the positive side. As after a couple of days, obviously it's really frustrating at first because you can't really do anything, and you're going to be out for an extended period of time. But eventually, I kind of flipped the page and looked at the positives. Like I said, it's a chance for me to rest my body, rest my mind, and get ready because it's a long season. So it's almost like I got like 3 bye weeks of rest because now we have an actual open date. So that was, I think that's a positive from it. But other than that, I mean, I think that was the other part was just challenging, not being able to be here with the team and, they're working and getting ready and just not feeling as much of a part of it because I can't be there physically. So I was in all the meetings on, virtually on Zoom, but it's just not the same as being there. And it's just, you miss that. So I think mentally that was the hardest part is not feeling like you're really a part of it just because it's hard to be.
Trevor, Brad from Clemson SI again. What do you think this team needs to do to make sure what happened against Notre Dame doesn't happen again this season?
I mean, nothing changes for us. Just keep preparing, treating every week like it's a championship game. I mean, taking it 1 week at a time. And truthfully, I mean, I think we still control our own destiny and just taking it 1 week at a time, worrying about Florida State this week. And then after that, we'll flip the page. But that's the only way we'll get to where we want to go is if we take it 1 week at a time, prepare and execute, play well. I think in the game, as some of the mistakes we made, we still had a chance to win, which says a lot about the team. I think we have a lot of heart, never quit. Obviously, we were down 10 or 13 points in the first half and did a lot of bad things and still put ourselves in a position to win the game, which says a lot against a really good team like Notre Dame. We just got to clean it up, though. You can't, we can't give them points on offense and defensively. Just all the way around, we got to get better, and we will. But like I said, I mean, it's impressive that we were in a position to win the game. Is some of the mistakes that we made that were critical, we still found a way to scrap back. And obviously, we're down a lot of people. And, not really an excuse, but just I think this week's big to get people healthy and kind of get back to our normal selves. So we're going to really take this week and get better, and it's going to be good for us.
Hey, Trevor, it's David again. We now know that after all this, you have 6 games left. If everything goes right and you make a college football playoff and a national championship, that 6 games for you in your Clemson career if you go pro. Did you take some time to think about that, to think about this final stretch and what you want to accomplish personally as a team in this final go around for you?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely thought about it. Nothing changes as far as, my goals and what I see for this team and for myself. Those are still the same, but just to get more time to really let that sit in that, if I do decide to leave after this season, I only got 1 more home game. We have 3 more regular season games, but only have 1 more home game. So that's just kind of surreal knowing that game, I think we played Pitt. It'll be my last home game if I decide to leave and just all those things. And I just want to maximize it and make the most of it. I think that comes from just working every day, not looking too far ahead, but just season every day and making the best of it, winning the day. And that's what I'm going to do until obviously I'll have a decision to make, but I'm going to just make the most out of every day.
Hey, Trevor, it's Trevor again. You mentioned the mistakes a minute ago. It was a rough game for Travis. Obviously, he had the fumble for the score. He's had such an incredible career. I think it's easy to forget that he's human. Did you console him at all after the game, and just how's he taking the loss?
I mean, he's a competitor. He's a team player, obviously. So he's hurt about the game, like anyone would be. Losing a game like that, it's tough, but. I mean, Travis makes up for a lot of the stuff like that, just with the plays he makes. I mean, no one else can make some of the plays that he made in the game. So, just like you said, we're all human. It's going to happen. And I think some people put us on these pedestals, especially a player like Travis. He's not going to make any mistakes, and it's tough. It's a team game. Not everything's on him. There's a lot of things that aren't seen by the outside world that go into games, and not everything's on his shoulders. So it's a team. So we win and lose as a team, and definitely, obviously, he's not happy just because we didn't win the game, but he's going to bounce back. I know the type of competitor and player he is. He's going to be fine.
Hey, Trevor, you just mentioned a second ago about the potential end of your college career upcoming. I know when you discussed you never know what'll happen a few weeks ago, it certainly got its share of buzz from everybody else, including, I'm sure, a lot of Jets fans. I'm just curious, in your mind, since you had said like your plan was to go, has something changed in your mind, or is it just a matter of like you're not predicting the future?
Yeah, man. Just my mindset is the same, and I really don't want to talk about it anymore. Honestly, I'm just trying to enjoy my last few months here, if that's what it's going to be. So, whatever I decide to do, you guys will know in January or February. So I'm just trying to enjoy it, and obviously I'm not trying to make a stir. I don't want any more people talking about me than they already are. So. My thing is, I'm just never going to corner myself to where I have to do something just because of something I said in the past. So I'm leaving the door open for all my options, and that's really all I'm going to say about it. But just trying to enjoy my time here, however much I have.
Okay, so you don't
Trevor,
want to be terrible about the Jets and get everybody angry about that, then.
What'd you say?
So you don't want to just say something bad about the Jets and let that get out there, then, right?
No, man, I'm not. That comment was really more so just to leave the door open. People want me to say, no matter what, for sure, I'm leaving school, and that's just not something I'm gonna say, and that's that's as simple as it is. So I'm never gonna corner myself like that, and that's what people want to hear. At the end of the day, I want to leave myself opportunities and take everything in and make a decision. And obviously, I'm not gonna say that for sure I'm staying or for sure I'm leaving. So that's all it was, and it turns out that caused more of a commotion than if I wouldn't have said anything. So who knows?
Trevor, how much do you think for the offense this off week is an opportunity to sort of take a step back and examine what defenses are doing to take Travis away? I know Notre Dame really was attacking the A gaps, I guess, and it seems that's something that from the outside probably needs to be addressed. I'm just curious what your perspective is on that, and maybe how much of that needs to be tackled here with the extra time off.
Yeah, we'll definitely look at it and make the adjustments we need to. We do a good, crossover on our off week, so we'll kind of study each other. The offense study defense will study the offense. So we'll look at that, and I think there's a lot of things that we can, get better at, like always, and we'll figure some things out for sure and get better. Obviously, I don't know exactly what that is yet, but we'll definitely obviously work to get better, and we need to get better. Obviously, we didn't play our best game, but the future's bright, and I think that we got a lot ahead of us still.
Trevor, this is Matt again, kind of following up on Larry's question. Is there anything you took away from being able to watch from the sideline or watch on TV that you think you can maybe carry over into the last few games of the season?
Yeah, I think just for me, just continuing to be a leader, and it's obviously easier to be a leader when you are playing and you're a part of the game. It's harder being on the sideline and not being able to go out and play. It's a little bit harder to lead, but now that I'm back, really cherishing that and realizing how important it is, and just like I said before, just taking it week by week, and I think that's something that we'll really key on from now on, which we already did in the past for sure. That's how we operate, but just making sure that we take it 1 week at a time and just really enjoy every one, and try to get to where we want to go. And I think that's our mindset. That's my mindset. But yeah, I think the main thing is just leadership and continuing to get better at that and be there for the team.
We have time for two more questions.
This with Cornell Powell, what did you see from him the past couple of weeks, and how have you seen him kind of grow throughout this senior year?
Yeah, he's playing really well. I think in football, really any position, but especially receiver, confidence is huge, and you can see him get some confidence, and he's playing really well because he realizes like some of the plays he's made. He's like, I can do it. I have confidence in my ability, in my skill, all those things. I mean, I think that's a huge part of this game is just being confident, and that's how you can go make plays like he's making. So I love to see him getting his confidence as a fifth-year senior. He's worked really hard, had to kind of wait in line, and obviously there's been some great receivers in front of him for the past few years, and now it's his chance. He's taking advantage of it. So I got a lot of confidence in him, and we're just going to keep getting better, and I'm happy he's playing really well.
Trevor, just to be super clear, like, are you completely done with the reacclimatization stuff, or like, do you have to ease your way into practice today, or are you full go?
Yeah, I think I still have to ease into it a little bit, but the good thing is as a quarterback, you don't really run a ton at practice, so I think for the most part I should be back. But it's like I said, still have to get 100% clearance, on the same page with Danny, and make sure that I'm taking the right steps. I honestly don't know for sure. I'm sure that it'll be pretty normal for me today. Maybe not do a few things, but but after that, hopefully I'll be back. But yeah, I'm not really 100% sure.